Hello and welcome to Police Beat. I'm Officer Ben Tobias, the spokesperson for the Gainesville Police Department.
And I'm Sergeant Sharna Sen, a day shift patrol supervisor.
We're glad you could join us today for this episode of Police Beat. As you know, the Gainesville Police Department has very talented men and women that protect and serve the citizens of Gainesville.
Many of our department members have also served you with their work in the U.S. Armed Forces. It's a natural move for these former soldiers to continue serving their country on a local scale as law enforcement officers. There are many similarities and differences between the military and law enforcement work.
Our first segment focuses on the men and women of the Gainesville Police Department that are actively serving in the U.S. military. Officer D'Amico is still actively serving in the U.S. Army and just recently came back to us from yet another overseas deployment. Let's ride along with him and hear about his experiences both with the Gainesville Police Department and with the U.S. military.
Yeah, we've got a huge number of veterans and prior military and current military police officers, all the way up from patrolmen to leadership to detectives. I know it's a supervisor nightmare and a supervisor headache to be coming and going, because not only are you gone for a year on your combat tour, you're also gone before you leave a couple weeks here, a couple weeks there for train up and getting ready. So I know that's got to be tough on supervisors and short staffing, but they do it, and they try to do it with a smile on their face, because and they're always proud of your service and what you do. Originally, you know, being young and naive and never been in law enforcement before, you think, oh, it's going to be exactly the same, I can handle it, I'm a military guy. That's not the case. There's a lot of things that are extremely different. Policy, procedures, there's so much multitasking going on as a police officer. What you're exposed to, the experience that you gain in your first year or two, it's like sipping from a fire hydrant. So many things are thrown at you that are unfamiliar to you. Similarities from military background to law enforcement background are the chain of command, working for someone, having teammates, being assigned a team, being assigned tasks and duties. This past year, they assigned a military liaison, an officer who works for the department with the approval of our chain of command, checking in with your family every month and asking, what do you need around the house? What obstacles are you facing with your spouses, your husbands, paychecks or tax returns coming up, or children, daycare, job? One funny story, my wife emailed me and said, there was a 6-foot snake in the backyard, and I haven't cut the grass, it's overgrown. I won't let the kids go out there and play because they're going to get swallowed up by the snake and strangled. And I emailed her back and said, honey, you're exaggerating. There's no way there's a 6-foot snake in the backyard. Are you kidding me? You saw a little green snake or something and it ran off. Go cut the stinking grass, let the kids go outside and play. Well, lo and behold, she saw the snake again, takes a photo of it laying across the fence, and I counted all the planks of the fence, and plus there was some part of the snake that was missing because it was hanging over, and it was over 6 feet long. It was some pet that got loose. It could not have been in the wild that big. I don't know. Someone let it loose, it got loose, and it ended up in my backyard and freaked her out. And so I had to email her and apologize. Honey, you're absolutely right. I'm sorry. There was a 6-foot snake in the backyard, and yes, it could have swallowed the children. And our police officer, who had prior military and was our liaison that checked in with her every couple weeks, every month, he went out there to help her and assist with the snake. And he did multiple things around the house for me that, you know, I thank him all the time for. And he does that with the other military officers. They would keep me in contact and let me know who got promoted, a major incident, when someone did something well, and they gave me a connection from 9,500 miles away that made me feel, for at least a brief moment while I was reading the emails, that I was still back home, telling me what's going on, because GPD is like a second family, and it will always be like a second family. And over the last few years, I've seen them improve in that area and really give you that second family feel to me as a military veteran.
The Gainesville Police Department thanks each and every one of our members that have served our country in the U.S. military. Here are some of our active duty and retired military personnel.
I'm Corporal Gary Hennigan. I retired in 2001 from the United States Navy after 20 years.
Officer Kelly Weaver, Sergeant, Army National Guard, 631st Maintenance Company, Stark, Florida.
Officer Jamie Stubbs, background investigator here at Gainesville Police Department. I'm also in the Air Force Reserves at 920th ASTS down at Patrick Air Force Base.
I, Reginald Wilson, am the Director Supervisor. I've been here for 2 years. I've spent 24 years in the United States Navy. Last final tour was in Masaru, Japan.
My name is Sergeant First Class Jeremiah Kelly. I'm in the Army Reserve, currently serving as a First Sergeant at 18th Military Police Company out of Tampa, Florida.
Officer Joe Washington, Gainesville Police Department, United States Navy, served 26 years.
Officer Ken Singletary, Florida Army National Guard, 18 years medic.
Officer Vishenbar Nikoloff with the Gainesville Police Department. I'm actively serving with the U.S. Coast Guard, Sector Jacksonville since 2010.
Officer Jeff Bailey, retired Army, served 24 years, 5th, 10th Special Forces, and the 82nd Airborne Division.
Officer Travis Stevens, ex-Army, currently serving in the United States Air Force as a Tech Sergeant out of the 434th Grissom Air Reserve Base.
My name is Sergeant Daniel Beans, United States Marine Corps. Currently serving with the 4th Anti-Terrorism Battalion in Tallahassee, Florida.